Okay, guys. This is a quick little video for T-Sheets. Yeah, let me sign out real quick and sign back in so you can see what it looks like. But basically, so T-Sheets, what we're using it for to take the place of shift planning, which was the old system that we're using to keep track of shifts for all of our coaches. So the main reason why we're switching to this because it syncs with QuickBooks, which is our payroll. It will save a lot of time for Bree to do payroll for our coaches and things like that. So that was the main reasons why we do it. And it's not too, it's pretty similar to shift planning as well. So it wouldn't be too difficult for you guys to pick up how to do this. So just going to walk you guys through a couple of the things here so you can have this as a reference going forward whenever you need to go back in there. So we'll all have our own login. So each of you will have your own name, and logins pretty much first initial of your first name and then your last name. Which is it is set up in QuickBooks. It comes right over here. The thing. Same thing will be for the coaches. So, and then you'll just do your password to log in, and this is what it will look like. Oh. So this is what will come up when you first log into T-Sheets. Yours might be a little bit different since it will be first time using it. It might tell you here are some different things that you guys can use or kind of walk you through a tour of it, which I definitely recommend to you guys to do the first time just to walk through all the different features. This will always come up, this guide here, so you can still go through these tours as you're going along if you ever want to look at how to do something and all that sort of stuff. So this will always be here, and you can set up times down here for any sort of like help you want to have with any of their IT people there to walk you through anything else. So that's kind of nice. You can set up a time to talk to some of them as well. So you also can click down here to show this when I sign in. You can uncheck that box so it doesn't show up every time you sign into T-Sheets. So, but yeah, so this is what it'll be when it kind of opens up. You'll have sort of this dashboard looking thing. It will also tell you you can track it on your phone. So if you send your phone number there, it'll just open up the app there for you guys. So, but you can just change that, or it's just set. You already pretty much have that set up already, so you don't need to do that. But this section here, my time card, usually check that off because this is for yourself. So you won't be really using that unless you want to use T-Sheets to keep your own time there, but the coaches, they'll see their time in there when they log in online. They can see exactly how many hours they worked for the week and things like that. So the other cool thing that will show up on your homepage is who is actually currently working, and you also can see the location of where they are clocked in. So when they clock into their session, you would see little dots wherever they're clocked in at their session, which is good to keep them accountable to see where they're actually clocking in and clocking out of their session. So it'd be nice for you guys to actually see that. So yeah, so that's a cool little thing that will be there as well on your homepage, so you can see who exactly is working. The other thing is that you can, like as you can see, I'm exiting and closing out of little windows here, so you can have whatever you want on your dashboard there for whatever you're working on. So over here on the left side is the main bar, like sidebar that you guys be using to get to your different areas. So the main ones that you'll be using are time entry, the approvals report, and then schedules as well. So those are kind of the three main areas that you'll be doing in here. All these other ones, you probably won't be in here all too often do anything else for the most part. So so for the first thing that I'll show you guys is the schedule and how it will look laid out, basically how it starts start to finish. So as you can know, the sales guys will make the sale, and once they have that contract done, they will send to Bree the school name and district so she can add them to QuickBooks, because remember, again, everything has to go through QuickBooks. So same with coaches, same for us, and same for schools to make sure that anything that's in QuickBooks we can transfer over into T-Sheets. So so once Bree has that information, she'll add it in, and then the sales guys will be able to add in sessions to T-Sheets for their regional managers. So so yeah, once it's in there, they will come into T-Sheets and click into the schedule section to add in new schools up here. So the easiest way for them to do it is to add it into the unassigned section. So they'll just click here on that individual Monday. So say they have sessions coming up then. and they would go and just add in all the details for it. So they would add in the time. So say the session is from 10, let's do 10:30 to 11. Let's do 11:30. So it's an hour-long session. You can see how it's long there. The other cool thing is you can change the exact time. So if it's a weird one, like an 11:37, which another one will be, but maybe they are, you can change it to the exact time that that session's running. We could do 35 if you need to do that, which is a good way to keep track of the actual hours that are going at that school. They can add in a title for it as well, and this will also come in handy for missed sessions or rainouts or things like that, or early release. So they can change the title to lunch session or whatever they want to put there. Change the colors if they need to. I'll show you guys why we would be changing colors in a second. They won't be adding anything into the employees because this is the actual coaches. So that'll be you as a regional manager adding it in but just for the sales guys, they won't add that in. They will add the customer, which is the actual school. So they can type it in there, whatever school they're looking for, just by typing in there, or they can just scroll through here and add the school to them. So let's just do Altadena. They'll actually type the actual location for that Altadena school. Elementary, so that will actually pop up for the actual location, which is cool because this will show up on the coach's phone too, that they can click on that location when they clock in, and it'll tell them exactly how they can use it for Google Maps. So that will save them time or saying they don't know where the school is and all that sort of stuff. There shouldn't be any issues with that anymore. The other cool thing is that in the notes section, they can put in the school needs or values in here. So one would be like respect, friendship, or sportsmanship, anything like that. So the school needs, they can add in there for whatever, or if they want to do like the PBIS, they can add in Dino dollars or whatever for that section to remind the coaches and you guys of what the main focus is at that school. So we're also going to add different notes in here. I'll show you when we're doing reschedules and stuff like that. So they'd add in any notes for that school to have a reminder for you guys on that. And then they'll be adding in these sections here too. So coaches needed, obviously great for you to know how many coaches you need at that school. Billable, they'll just check it yes. That just means that we're going to charge them at the school that it is a billable session. The district they'll add in, so this isn't a River Skies school, but I'll just put it in there just for reference. And the service item is the type of program, so you can see we'll probably get rid of some of these because you won't be really doing any of that stuff, but you'll just this is a lunch recess one, so I'll add that in. And they won't change this because you can tell the session status is if we canceled or we completed or rescheduled the session. So they want add that in. So that's what they'll be doing. And then they'll also do this down here. This little box is the repeat. So these sessions are scheduled for, let's just say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so you can see they're weekly and they're going to run until, let's just do Thanksgiving time here. And so you can see at the top that it's running weekly on Monday, Wednesday, Friday until November 21st or 24th. And that will be just set up to repeat. So every week you won't have to go back in and add this session in every time. It's just set up to repeat automatically. So you can just publish the sessions and make sure that the coaches know to go to those sessions there. Or it'll just pop up in the coach's schedule for those next couple weeks. So and they'll hit done. And so the last thing that they'll do is just hit it as a draft because this will change the color of it based on what you save it as, or what you hit next. So if you hit publish, it will come up a different color. But if they save it as a draft, you will see that it comes up white, Altadena, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And it's under the unassigned section. So there's not a coach assigned to it yet. So that makes it easy for you to see. Once they have that in there themselves, they'll say, hey, regional manager, I just added in the school Altadena in the Riverside area. You can see that it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10:30 to 11:35. We need 2 coaches there. So boom, on to you to find those coaches for that. So once you do find your coaches, it's really simple to assign them to the sessions. So you just click on the actual session there. You can edit the individual shift, which would, if you're adding a coach to run the whole program, you would want to edit the whole series. You wouldn't want to do that individual shift. That's only for reschedules or missed sessions or things like that, or changing any notes for that individual session. But you wanted to edit the whole series. And so the way that you would add a coach is you come to the employees section and you can type in the name of the employee, or you can just scroll through and find them in alphabetical order. These have all of our coaches in here right now, but for you, look, I could even coach the session. It will just have the coaches that are assigned to you, which will be set up on Breeze and in QuickBooks. So we will just set up where it's only limited so you guys can see exactly who are assigned to you. So say I want Aaron, the coach there, I would go down and publish that shift, or those shifts for Aaron. And then so that should move all these sessions down here to Aaron. You can see they're a different color because they're not saved in the draft anymore. So yep, so that way you know that coach is assigned there. You can see the time, how long they're working for that week for those sessions that they're assigned to there. The other thing that you can do, so say, again, we needed 2 coaches there, is you can just click back on the session here, edit the series. Once you find that second coach, you can do, if Adele's going to coach these sessions, just add her straight into there, hit publish again, and it will show up under Adele once it loads there for her. So these are your 2 coaches there. And for these sessions, they're at Altadena, so you know they're good to go. So yeah, so that's how you can add your coaches to those sessions to make sure that they are in there and scheduled. So if we do have any issues with that, with any coaches going to their sessions and things like that, you can, that's why we're having to change the colors and change the titles of those sessions. So if, say, this session here on Wednesday, the coach called out sick, Aaron called out sick, we would go in and click on the actual session again and edit that individual session there, not the whole entire series. And we would change it to red up here because red means it was missed by the coach. And then we would go down and you can add a note in here saying coach called out sick. And then you would also change, you could change this up here with an X1. Have a little stand out a little bit more too, so you know exactly what happened there. The other thing that we would need to change is this wouldn't be a billable session because we don't have anybody there. And then there's a field down here as the session status. We would change that to canceled because the coach missed that session. And then we would hit publish again. And then that session should show up red there. So you can see that stands out a little bit more for you, so you know that coach called out sick for that. If you did have another coach to cover that session, say this coach would cover it, you can just go ahead and type that information in there that they're covering that session for that coach to run that session there. Or you could click here, since she's the other coach of that school, you can just add the other coach in there for that individual shift to edit that individual shift there. So yeah, so there's different ways you can add in those other coaches there for those sessions and change the colors. So let's just say this one, well, sorry, let's not do that one. Let's do this one. You edit that individual shift. Say we had the school called and it was a festival for them. So we would change this to, we can put an R in there if we need to, but cool. Festival. So session rescheduled. And then again, we need to change this from billable none and change this session status to rescheduled. And we would change the color. So any reschedules, we're going to do blue for the coaching or for the school side. So we know that those are the schools that are canceling those. and then we need to reschedule them. So those will show up blue. And then you just hit save again, and it pops up blue there. So we had another reschedule down there at this school. That was just an example from other sessions I did before. And the one other color that we're going to use is orange, and orange is going to be for any sessions that are not regularly scheduled. So these original sessions are from 11 or 10:30 to 11:35. But say we have an early release day and they start at 10 o'clock on this day. They're still going to go to 11:35, but they're just starting earlier. No, let's just do a 10 to 11 since it's a early release day. We change the time. We change the color to orange. You can put a little note in here, early release. And then notes in here. Session will start 30 minutes early today. Again, because this is just for that individual shift, not for all of them. And then, yes, this will all stay the same here for these sections here. And then you'll just hit publish. So that will show up orange. So that will stand out for you guys and for your coaches to see, okay, yep, this session's starting earlier than normal. And it just makes it a little bit easier to see on the schedule if there's any weird days for your classes or for your sessions there. So yep, so those are the colors that we'll be using that for, and for any of the changing of the title of the sessions there. The other features that you can use for this is you can look by, this is in the employee, which has all your coaches, but you can change that to the customer section, which will be the schools. And so you can just look at the schools that you want to look at. So you can see Alan that we're running there, Altadena, those were the sessions that I was doing with those, and any other schools that are running for you. So sales guys, they can see this as well. So it kind of makes it a little bit, if they want to enter the sessions in here, it's no different for them to add it in the customer session. It will still show up on the employee side as unassigned if they added in a session there. So, but yeah, so you can look between the two of those for any reasons you want to look at the customer side of things, or if you want to just look at the employee view, that way you can do that. So you also can do a monthly view of the sessions over here and see the sessions for the whole entire month. So this will give you a good idea of how many sessions are, if there's coaches missing or if there's any reschedules or things like that. So these red ones popping up, those will stand out for you. And anything else, you can just click on it to expand if there's multiple sessions for that day, which there will be, obviously. You can see the colors in there pretty quickly and see, okay, yeah, this coach isn't doing great. Might need to check and get a new coach in there or something. So yeah, that's what the scheduling looks like, and that's kind of the basic rundown of what it will look like and how you guys would do it kind of start to finish. So the one other thing that you would do if your sessions are completed, you would go in and click on the session that it was completed, but that will also, you can do that in payroll, which I'll show you how to do here in a second for approving shifts.